So first question is, which of the following is not a financial derivative? Stock is not a financial derivative. Rest all are stock futures, stock options, forward contracts. These are financial derivatives. Next, a contract that requires the investor to buy securities on a future date is called a dash. Investor will buy securities on a future date is called as long contract. Okay, long means buy, short means sell. So buying securities on a future date is called a long contract. A short contract requires that the investor should sell securities in the future, should buy securities in the future, hedge in the future, close out his position in the future. Answer is A. Short means selling securities. Short contract, short future contract. That means selling the securities in the future contract. A disadvantage of a forward contract is that dash. It may be difficult to locate a counterparty. The forward market suffers from lack of liquidity. These contracts have default risk, all of the above, both A and C of the above. Disadvantage of forward contract. First, क्या it is difficult to locate a counterparty. Yes, it is difficult because forward contract में खुद पार्टी सर्च करनी पड़ती है. Second, forward market suffers from lack of liquidity. You have to wait till maturity date. If you are selling any commodity, you have to wait for the maturity future date to get money. So you suffer from liquidity problem. These contracts have default risk. One party will default, other will suffer. Other party will suffer because of default. All of the above is the answer. Next, which of the following strategies will be profitable if the price of underlying asset is expected to decrease? There may be more than one correct response. Which of the following strategies will be profitable if the price of underlying asset is expected to decrease? Buying a call, selling a call, selling a put, buying a put. Call buyer is bullish. यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है? Expected to decrease. Prices of assets will decrease in future. तो call buyer bullish होता है, call seller bearish. तो B right है. Okay, जो bearish है उसके लिए ये बराबर है. Expected to decrease. Okay, prices are expected to decrease. Call seller is bearish. Selling a put. Selling a put means bullish. Buying a put means bearish. So B and D are bearish. Selling a call and buying a put option. Which of the following is a major difference between swap and future contract? Number A, future contract involves only one future transaction, whereas a swap typically involves several future transactions. फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एक ही फ्यूचर ट्रांजैक्शन होगा. स्वैप में देयर विल बी सेवरल फ्यूचर ट्रांजैक्शन. व्हाट इज इंटरेस्ट रेट स्वैप? you have to pay interest of second party, and second party will pay interest of first party. First party interest rate is fixed rate. He wants to pay floating interest rate, and second party has taken loan on floating interest rate and he wants to pay the fixed interest rate. So they both, these two parties, A and B, will swap their interest rate. A party will pay interest of B and B party will pay interest of A. So in this swap, they have to pay at different intervals, they have to pay interest. So there are several transactions in swap. But in future contract, there is only one transaction. Swaps are derivative securities, but future contracts are not. Future contracts are even derivative contracts only. Swaps are usually marked to market, whereas future contracts are not. This is wrong. Even future contracts are marked to market. What is marked to market? Whatever prices are going on, we have to find out the current status based on the prices, current prices. What is the current status? Whether your position is in loss or in profit with respect to current market price. Even future contracts are marked to market. So this statement B and C are wrong. Swap are typically short term, whereas future contracts tend to extend over several years. No, this is wrong. Future contracts will not extend to several years. Answer is A. A is right for this, the difference between swap and future contract. Which of the following is potentially obligated to sell an asset at a predetermined price? You know, obligation is always with the seller, right? In derivatives options, call seller and put seller both have obligation. Call seller is having an obligation to sell. Put seller is having an obligation to buy. Now here you have to write obligated to sell an asset at a predetermined price. What does it mean? It means obligation to sell is with the call seller, call writer, C. Okay. This is the explanation. Call buyer has a right to buy at a strike price. Put buyer has a right to sell at a strike price, but no obligation to sell at a strike price. A call writer has an obligation to sell at a strike price. A put writer, that means put seller, has an obligation to buy. Next question. A put option has a strike price of 35 rupees. The price of underlying stock is currently 42. Now you have to compare the strike price with the current spot price, 42. This is a put option. The put buyer is dash, in the money, at the money, out of money. First find out what is the put buyer. Put buyer has a right to sell at a strike price. Your definition is clear. Put buyer is having a right to sell at a strike price, but no obligation to sell at a strike price. When he is getting option of selling at 42, why he will sell at 35? Right? So this option is of loss. If you sell at 35, you will make a loss of 7 rupees. Right? So you will not sell at 35. You will cancel the deal, not exercise the deal. So you will call this deal as out of money. Whenever you not exercise because you are getting loss in the deal, so that loss is called as out of money. Next question. A put option has a strike price of 35 for a premium of rupees 3. The price of the underlying stock is currently rupees 42. The gain or loss of put seller is dash. Now you have same put option. Premium is also given here and the price is 42. Put seller. What is the definition of put seller? Put seller has an obligation to buy at a strike price. First, think from the point of view of buyer. Always when you are solving for put seller, you have to think from point of view of put buyer first. Put buyer has a right to sell at a strike price. That is, for put buyer, this is the selling price 35 and the current price is 42. He will not exercise the deal, right? Put buyer will not exercise the deal because he don't want to sell at 35. He will sell in the market at 42. He will leave the premium, whatever he have paid, whatever he had paid premium, he will make a loss of premium of 3 rupees. So for loss of, if you calculate the loss of put buyer, it is 3 rupees and gain of put seller is only 3 rupees. So gain of rupees 3, D answer is right. Put seller will get only premium as a profit. Explanation is given. Put buyer will have a right to sell, but no obligation to sell at a strike price of 35. He will not exercise the put option because he wants to sell in the current market at 42. Put seller will receive premium of rupees 3 as a profit and loss of buyer will be only 3 rupees. Next, an option is an asymmetrical instrument since the holder of an option will not only exercise if it is beneficial to him or her. Asymmetrical instrument since the holder of an option will only exercise if it is beneficial to him or her. ऑप्शंस में जब हम लोगों को बायर को प्रॉफिटेबल होता है तभी वो इंस्ट्रूमेंट को एक्सरसाइज करता है. अदरवाइज ही विल लीव द ऑप्शन एंड ही विल लीव द प्रीमियम विद द सेलर. दैट इज ट्रू. नेक्स्ट, margin requirements are usually significantly higher for futures than for stocks. Margin requirements are less in futures. You are paying 10 to 20% for future stock futures, but in stocks you are paying the full amount of purchase. So answer is false. Next, the buyer of forward contract is obligated to buy the underlying asset when the contract expires. Forward contract buyer is having obligation to buy the underlying asset when the contract expires. There is no obligation in forward contract. Anytime you can cancel the deal in the forward contract. In future contracts, there is an obligation for the buyer. But in forward contracts, you can cancel the deal if you think market price is good and cheaper. Market price is cheaper. So you will buy from the market. Why you will buy from the contract? So initially you made a contract, you didn't pay any premium or margin in the future contract. Oh, sorry, in the forward contract. But later on, when you see the price is lower in the market, you will cancel the forward contract. So answer is false. In forward contracts, there is no obligation to buyer to buy on the expiry. because there is no expiry in forward contracts. Next, the buyer of call option is obligated to buy the underlying asset when the contract expires. Now, you have already read about the call option definition. Call option buyer is having a right to buy but no obligation to buy at a strike price. But here it is only writing half definition. You can see here there is nothing written about the right to buy but no obligation to buy. But instead of that, they are writing buyer of call option is obligated to buy. Actually, the answer is the buyer of call option is having right to buy at a strike price but no obligation to buy. So this statement is wrong. Answer is false. Okay. Next, bought a call option of Nifty. Strike price of 1 month is 11,800. You bought Nifty index, 1 month Nifty, and 1 month Nifty will expire on the last Thursday of first month. So expiry is on the last Thursday of first month, and the strike price is 11,800. On expiry date, the spot price is 11,800. Premium is 180. Bullish investor, spot price on expiry should move up above the strike price. If you are buying a call, that means you are bullish. And when the spot price will go above the strike price, it will be a good option for the call buyer. Now see, the price is same, 11,800 only. 11800. This is the current price. Current price and strike price is same. Investor will not exercise, buyer will not exercise the call option because it is at the money and intrinsic value is maximum 0, spot price minus strike price. Intrinsic value means the profit from the deal. What is the maximum profit? You will get maximum 0 or the difference of spot price and strike price. If you find out the difference, spot price and strike price, it is 11,800 minus 11,800. You will get 0. So answer is 0 for intrinsic value of call buyer. Time value. This is the net profit of call buyer. Intrinsic value minus premium. 0 minus premium. Initially you paid the premium, then you entered the order. Okay. For call buyer, you place the order after paying the premium. That is minus 180. This is the loss for the call buyer. So in the case of at the money and out of money, you will be having a loss of your premium amount. Loss is limited to premium for the call buyer. And this option is not exercised by the call buyer. So he is making a loss of only 180. Next, bought a call option of Nifty. 1 month Nifty option bought, call option bought. It is called CE. 1 month Nifty CE call European 12,000. And on expiry date, the spot price is 14,500. 14500. This is the price on expiry date. Premium is 180. When you buy call option, you have to pay premium of 180. And you bought a call option, that means you are bullish investor. You are expecting the spot prices will be above strike price, and you are a fortunate person. You are getting spot price higher than the strike price on the expiry. So this is in the money, profitable. Whenever it is in the money, the buyer will exercise the call option because spot price is greater than the strike price. 14,500 spot price greater than 12,000. This is the profit from the deal. Intrinsic value maximum 0, spot price minus strike price is equals to 14,500 minus 12,000. Answer is 2,500. Net profit is called as time value. Intrinsic value minus premium. The answer, you got 2,500 and you have paid the premium initially 180 rupees. So your profit is 2320. Time value, net profit is 2320. So call buyer only makes profit when he exercises the call option. He will only exercise when the spot price is greater than the strike price. In the money option will give you profit. Next, bought a put option of Nifty. Strike price of 3 months. Now this is 3-month Nifty put option, PE, put European. Strike price is 12,500. When you buy put option, you are bearish investor. On expiry date, the spot price is 14,500. 14500, 14,500. Premium is 180. You are buying a put, that means you are bearish investor and you are expecting market will go down. When strike price is 12,500, you are expecting the spot price will go below strike price. Spot prices will come below the strike price. This is your desire, expectation. Now what happens? Unfortunately, price goes above the strike price. That is 14,500. It should go below 12,500, but it is going upwards, 14,500. So this is a case of out of money. This is a loss, okay, and spot price is greater than the strike price. Buyer of put will not exercise the put option because buyer is having an option, freedom to make a choice. He may write exercise or not exercise. If it is at the money or out of money, he will write not exercise by the buyer of put option. Intrinsic value is maximum 0, strike price minus spot price. In case of call option, I was writing spot first and strike price later. But in case of put option, always remember strike price you have to write first, then minus spot price. So this is the profit from the deal 0 because you don't want to make a loss. Buyer says, I will not give anything in loss. Only I will give loss up to premium. So buyer is having a right, but no obligation to sell in the strike price, sell at a strike price. Time value is net profit, intrinsic value is 0, and the premium is the loss of the put buyer. That is 180. 180 is the total loss. For the put buyer, buyer of put is bearish and he expects that spot prices will fall below strike price, and unfortunately he could not sell at 12,500. He don't want to sell at 12,500. He want to sell at 14,500. So he's canceling the deal of strike price, that is put option. So put buyer is having a right to sell at 12,500, but no obligation to sell at 12,500. He can sell in the market at 14,500. So he has to cancel the deal if he is not ready to sell at a lower price. So in this case, the intrinsic value is 0 and the loss is only the premium he paid while entering into the contract of put option.